Hi, I'm Jerry. I'm with American Garage and we're doing another install today. We've got a barn behind me that's 820 square feet of brand new construction. We've already started our prep. So we've started by diamond grinding the edge of the garage itself, making sure that the machine won't touch any of the walls or the baseboard when we come through there. Now the shot blaster is micro-fracturing the top of the floor. I know it might be a little difficult to see this with a camera, but you see this product that I'm moving out of the way is actually the steel shot. It is being running through this particular machine, which is a shot blaster, which is hooked to the HEPA filtered system, so we have no dust. It actually shoots the shot down at the floor at 6,500 RPM, which is about 300 miles an hour. Once it hits the floor, it actually loses substance and it gets smaller and is completely recycled and reused. We're actually going to pick it up with a magnet over here on the other side of the floor when we're done with the floor. But we are micro-fracturing the floor for a mechanical prep to make sure that we can give that lifetime warranty to a home install in a garage. Now we've done our grinding, shot blasting, we've picked up all our steel, we're recycling it all and putting it back in the bucket so we can use it again. Now we'll sweep the whole facility out, vacuum it. We have to make sure that all the dust is off the floor. Latent dust left on the floor inhibits the epoxy from sticking. So this is really a critical stage right now that we make sure that we have it all completely cleaned up. So after we do that, and we know that we've got it pretty well dust-free as it can be in this area, we go to patch in any type of bug holes, small hairline cracks, or anything that may have happened during the time of construction or the settling of the building itself. Once we get done patching any of these hairlines, we've seen a small amount and a very few bug holes. It's very good concrete. Then we'll actually set up our mix station here on the side of the barn and get ourselves prepared to do our epoxy. What we're doing here now, of course, is mixing the products that we're going to use on this job today. I have a certain amount of square footage, and the formula for the epoxy I'm using is 200 square feet per gallon. And when I do 200 square feet per gallon, it actually comes out to 10 mils. And we make sure that we're very accurate. That's the only way that we can create depth in a floor, and that's what we're doing. Right now we're doing the mix, and the mix is just as important as every other stage in epoxy, because if you make a mistake here, you're in very bad trouble. So we're always watching each other and calling out our mixes out loud when we do it, so we all know that we're on the same page. And we're actually making a batch of epoxy that is going around the lower edge of the concrete block around the perimeter of the floor, more or less the footing. We're sealing that up a little bit, and so it'll tone in with the floor and we can chip it when we put our actual floor down. What we're doing here is we always check the temperature of a floor. It is March here in North Carolina, and it's been a little cold for the last few days, so we always check the temperature, and this is a laser temperature reader. You can see that this floor's got a temperature reading of 56 degrees. I only need 40, so I have no problems. What we're doing now is we're going to the final stage. As you can see, we have everything taped off at this point. The floor's been totally prepped. Now we've also coated the edges, which you can see, and we've used a thicker, heavier vertical product to do that, to give it the right look. So now we're actually pulling the floor. We've already put our first mix on the floor. I've used a squeegee to move it quickly because it's a time frame product, and now he's rolling it down behind me and leveling it off within the required measured space for 10 mils per gallon. I can hear my other guy is mixing right now while I have another guy cutting in, and we're in the process of putting down mix 2. Attention to detail is what stands American Garage above everybody else. We're 100%. We understand that this gentleman's got a lot of money involved in his new garage barn. We tape off the wood. We do anything special they need us to do. We go up the walls if they're block or not. We cut in. We adjust colors for any type, and this is a custom colored floor for the amount of grays that this gentleman owns in his automobiles. It's chip time, and that's what I've got in my hand. This particular is a custom color blend for this gentleman. We're using 2 colors of 1/4 inch, and then I'm using 4 colors of 1/16 of an inch. It creates quite a unique combination, and that's what he's looking for here. All of them happen to be grays with just a light speckle of white. So my guys we've pulled the floor down, and as you can see, almost 2/3 of it is coated at this point. I'm going out on the top section, which has been finaled, and I'm going to do a chip pattern, fill it in, and move right down the floor with them as they move. And then at the final, I go back and look for any areas that I may have missed. Throwing chips is totally random. Everything's thrown straight up in the air with an umbrella effect or mushroom effect. If you don't do that, it falls and clots on the floor. When I throw these, I'm looking at the darkest chip. And the darkest chip today is graphite. So I'm using a peripheral vision, and I'm throwing these that way. We're at the final phasing of the chips. The epoxy's down, and now I'm putting the chips into the top of the epoxy. I'm of course able to walk on the epoxy because the cleats that I have on, they give me the ability to stay above the level of the epoxy before it cures. We'd never chip our walls as thick as we chip our floor. It's a visual, and it's not a comfortable visual, and that's what we've learned to do, is so you can distinguish between the floor and the wall. And this is pretty well the final box. I will walk over the whole floor to make sure that I haven't missed anything, or the sunlight or something blinded me a little bit, and kind of make sure I bring all the floor together and give it all the same look. We're very good at what we do. We do hundreds of garages every year and up to 200,000 square feet of industrial and commercial. American Garage doesn't just do garages. We do basements, apartments, any kind of facility, retail, commercial, anything you can imagine. If it's concrete, we can put epoxy on it. It's been 20 hours since our epoxy went down with our chips. 20 hours, which has given this product plenty of time to do a basic start cure. It's hard enough for us to get on top of, it's hard enough for us to clear coat today. Today we're going to pull a clear coat of extremely hard polyurethane clear coat over the top of the 1,000 square feet that we've got here. And at the same time, we're going to lightly salt it with aluminum oxide, which is a non-slip, lightly, so he can still clean the floor easily. And to keep them from slipping during wet, rainy seasons during the winter. All right, what we're doing now is we're actually doing the clear coat. We've gone over the complete garage. We've vacuumed out everything, all the edges, all the wood, the top. We've even knocked any loose chips off the top and lightly sanded the top of the floor. So now he's actually pouring our clear coat, and then we'll do a straight line. And as you watch, you'll be able to see me pull it. Everything we do is prep. We live in a prep world, and the epoxy goes very fast because it's on a time frame.
My name is Bob. I picked American Garage to paint my barn floor. I went to the showroom, I picked out my colors, I hand selected what colors I wanted. Jerry did a sample batch for me. He showed up on time. He showed up with the crew as expected, promptly, did a great job, left, cleaned up after himself, and left me a fabulous finished product. I highly recommend him.
All right, that's another install by American Garage. If we can help you update your garage, your basement, or any nice piece of concrete that you want to look even better, please contact us at 828-862-8654 or americangarage.com. Thank you.